Hi and welcome to today's press up. Today I'm going to talk about a little thing called excerpts. Now these are quite hard to explain, so let's dig right in and I'll show you what these things are for. So let's imagine just for a minute, let's ignore the screen and let's just think about if you're reading a newspaper and for each newspaper article there's a title and then there's usually something called a stand first, which is like the first bit of text that introduces the article or says something like gives the key overview of that article. Excerpts are a little bit like those stand first that you get in the newspaper. They are little snippets that describe what a post is about. Now, excerpts, like featured images, are generally interpreted and used by the theme, and the theme can choose whether or not to make use of the fact that excerpts exist. So the theme that I previously had installed didn't actually make use of excerpts, so I've installed and activated a new theme called Baskerville. So this is the one that I use on my personal blog. And what we get with Baskerville is we get a grid of posts on the front page. So this is exactly the same demo system that I was using before. It's got our ginger beer article from the last press up, yeah, it's displaying these articles in a grid rather than in a top to bottom chronological format. And this little bit of text here, this is what I would call the stand first. Now, what it's done with my ginger beer article is it's just taken the content of the post and it's shortened it. So it says, here's some instructions for making ginger beer, and then where my ginger beer instructions link was, it's taken the text from that and inserted that. And so the whole thing doesn't really make a massive amount of sense when it's shortened and put in that context. You'll see over here on this one, which doesn't have a featured image, it's actually chopped the content short and just put these 3 dots and given me a continue reading link. So the way that we can tidy this up a bit is we can use the excerpt. So let's go and edit our ginger beer post. We're editing the ginger beer post here. And initially this wasn't showing, so just for a reminder, if I go to screen options, there's a whole load of things that we can turn on and off, and one of them is excerpt. So I can turn excerpt on and off. We will turn on the excerpt box. So if you couldn't see the excerpt box, make sure you go to screen options and turn it on. And that activates this, and it tells you they are optional handcrafted summaries of your content that can be used in your theme. And what I'm going to do here is just going to replace this content here with the text, how to make ginger beer. Excellent. And then I'm going to update that. And what I will do is go back to the home page and refresh the home page. And what you'll see is this theme has now chosen to make use of the excerpt. So where I put how to make ginger beer in the excerpt, that now appears as my little kind of subtitle or introductory text for that particular post. Excerpts can be used in other places. So for example, if you've got the right kind of plugins set up, and I'll cover this at a later date, then the excerpt text can be set to be the text that appears when you are sharing an article to social media. So having excerpts is generally a good idea, just adding a short summary of your article in order that people can get the gist of what your article or your news item or your blog post is about. And it's just kind of nice to handcraft that. Forgive my little email notification. It's just nice to handcraft that so that you can say exactly what you want to say on your homepage and in your social media shares. So excerpts, really worth thinking about and using if you can, and they're really simple and easy to do. Just enable that box and paste your excerpt into the box and update your post. I hope that's useful. Have a go at using it, see what it does with your theme and on your site. You might find that it's quite a useful thing to do. I'd recommend putting excerpts in for all of your posts and articles.